Hello. From the 15th century, when horses took over from oxen, until the arrival of steam engines and, more significantly, locomotives in the internal combustion engine, horses supplied the motive power in agriculture and transport. A revolution in agriculture that began in the early 17th century saw the introduction of a variety of new implements, including improved ploughs, cultivators to break up clods and prepare a seedbed, mechanised drills, chaff cutters and harvesting and reaping machines, all reliant on power supplied by horses. Heavy draft horses where they could be afforded, bred for the purpose and described in Part 11, cobs elsewhere. Horses saved on manual labour and provided useful manure, but had to be adequately fed, potentially requiring around 1/8 of a farm's produce for their support. Machine drilling of seeds in regular straight rows enabled weeding to be done by horse-drawn hoes rather than by hand. Scottish minister Reverend Patrick Bell is credited with developing the first practical mechanical harvester, which he demonstrated on the family farm in Angus in 1828. His two-wheeled machine was pushed by a pair of horses. Forms of harness varied for different tasks. Cart harness was used for pulling wheeled vehicles with shafts, plough harness for hauling ploughs and cultivators. In all cases, the chief component was a padded leather collar, roughly teardrop shaped, placed over the horse's head upside down and then twisted into position at the base of the neck. Collars were designed to fit a horse's anatomy, distributing a load evenly without constricting the windpipe, and kept in shape by curved metal hames, and to which the horse is connected to its load by straps or chains known as traces. Bridles typically comprised brow and nose bands and blinkers to guard against distractions. In plough gear, a horizontal bar known as a whippletree may be used to balance the load evenly on either side. This diagram is of a set of 5 for use with a team of 3 horses. Horses were broken in at 1 year and underwent training before starting regular daily work. Brewery dray horses, once a regular sight on the streets of towns and cities, were mentioned in Part 11. Other businesses with their own horses and stables for making deliveries included dairies and bakeries. Horse-drawn public omnibuses offering commuters and the general public affordable scheduled services on designated routes appeared on the streets of London in 1829. Coach builder and stable owner George Shillybeer began the first service, operating between Paddington and the Bank of England. It proved popular and soon faced competition. Similar services began to operate in other urban areas. In the mid-19th century, enterprising companies were keen to introduce horse-drawn tramways into towns and cities to meet a growing demand for public transport. Concerns about private companies digging up roads to lay tracks led to a Tramways Act, passed in 1870, authorising local authorities to construct the necessary infrastructure for lease to private providers. A tramway opened on the streets of Birmingham in spring 1872, with double-decker cars in a crimson and cream livery, each capable of carrying up to 36 passengers. Douglas Bay Horse Tramway still operates along 1 mile of seafront promenade on the Isle of Man. Horses were also vital in the emergency services. Horse-drawn fire engines were introduced in the early 18th century. The last fire engine horse working in London left Kensington Fire Station in 1921. The Metropolitan Police Mounted Branch, still very much operational, with 7 stables at sites across London, was established in 1760, initially to curb the activities of highwaymen. Liverpool Northern Hospital in Leeds Street introduced the first horse-drawn ambulance service in 1884. It's estimated there were more than 3 million working horses on Britain's farms in 1900. By the 1950s, they'd all but disappeared. My father was one of the last farm workers to use a horse instead of a tractor. Ploughing an acre of land, typically a day's work, involved walking around 11 miles. There are still niches, on hill farms and in orchards for example, where horses remain a practical and economic alternative, but by the 1950s, horses in agriculture were a rarity. Next time, horses in World War I, when compulsory purchase led to the impressment of hundreds of thousands of horses and mules to serve with the armed forces. If you've enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons and click on the notification bell to be informed when the next video is available, or you can click on the rose window over my shoulder.